Hello, my name is Faith and welcome to my channel, a place where we talk all things business, personal development, mindset, and lifestyle. I'm super excited to talk about today's topic just because I feel like it is something that entrepreneurs don't like to talk about, and that is mistakes and failures. I feel like there's a negative connotation that's associated with making mistakes and having failures, but I kind of wanted to change that narrative because I don't think that mistakes and failures are always a bad thing. I think if dealt with correctly, they could actually be a really, really good thing. It allows you to grow, it allows you to get more creative, it allows you to resolve issues. And the thing is, entrepreneurs, sometimes we just want everything to go our way and we want everything to go as planned, but that's not the reality of it. So I just wanted to come on here today to talk about this because I don't know who is sulking over a mistake that they recently made, but if you're somebody that's out there that's feeling bad about a mistake that you've made either right now or in the past, I hope that this video helps you to kind of lift up your spirits and show you that making a mistake is not the end of it all. In fact, it could just be a reroute or a detour or a destination change for you and your business. So I just kind of wanted to have this conversation with you guys because I think it's so important. So I launched my company in July 2019. And not long after, I made my very first mistake, and I was very hard on myself about it. I was kind of upset because I felt like I didn't do my due diligence before I made a decision. I felt like I just jumped right into that decision impulsively, and it costed me. And that's the thing about mistakes. They usually come at a cost, whether it's a monetary cost, like you having to do another order, or it could be a time thing whereby you now have to go spend all this time trying to resolve that issue. But either way, there's usually a cost associated with a mistake, and that's the part that sucks. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the good that can possibly come out of mistakes. So let me just give you guys a bit of a background story. So if you don't know, I run a hair beauty company whereby we provide accessories, beauty services such as hair coloring, hair treatments, and so forth. We also sell wigs and accessories and products. And again, if you're interested in checking out my website, it's www.gamvisbeauty.com. So we launched Gamvis Beauty in July 2020. And when we did that, my thing is I knew and I understood that I was entering a very saturated market. And I was okay with that. I was comfortable because competition is never anything that really ever scared me. I feel like if you know your value and you know what you bring to the table, it doesn't matter how saturated or how oversaturated a market is, it will make room for you. So I wasn't too worried about that. But what I was worried about was coming into the market, the oversaturated market, and being below average. I was okay with starting average, but I did not want to be below average when I started. So I kind of looked and researched to see what the standard was all across the board for hair companies. And one thing that I noticed was hair companies really take their packaging seriously. Like I'm talking, they'll add a 1-2 little gift here and there. Their boxes or their packaging is always customized. So I knew that starting out, I couldn't afford to add the little perks and the little gifts yet, but I knew that I could possibly afford the custom packaging. So that's where I started. So I started looking for a vendor to connect with the custom packaging, right? And I was able to find one, and they started asking me for my dimensions. But again, I'm doing this for the very first time. I'm not experienced with this. I didn't have a mentor or anybody guiding me. And anybody who runs a business, you know how overwhelming it can get because you're working on literally so many different moving parts. So the last thing I could care about was the dimensions of these bags that I was going to decide on. I was like, this sounds about right. So I just kind of did an estimate in my head. It sounded about right. And I ordered them. But another thing is when you're ordering from these vendors and you want something custom made, it's almost like you have to buy them in the hundreds or thousands. Like you have to bulk buy, which makes it a little bit more expensive than it needs to be, right? So that's where I messed up because once I received these packages, which were supposed to be my wig bags, they were so tiny. Like this was the size of it. How am I supposed to fit a wig into this little packaging? Look at it. I mean, it's cute. I love it. It's satin. It's cute. It looks great, but it's not functional. When I put my wigs in here, they literally look like they were suffocating. But remember, I told you I had bought them in the hundreds. So I was like, oh no, I'm not about to take this L baby. So I remember my mom had bought a couple wigs and I had sent her the wigs in this packaging. So when I followed up with her to see how she was liking the hair, her feedback to me is, I feel like my wigs are suffocating in this packaging. And I told her about my experience and what had happened. And she said to me, you need to chop this L. You cannot be giving people these little packages. And for me, I was just so overwhelmed because I'm like, I'm just starting out and I just feel like I have to pay for this mistake all over again. But I took her advice and I went back online and I started looking at other alternatives, because my thing is I messed up buying these satin bags. There was no way I was going to buy another satin bag. So that was ruled out. Satin bags were a no-go for me. Then I ruled out boxes and plastic, customized plastic poly mailers, because I didn't want to invest money in something that people were going to throw out. So I started looking for alternatives on things that I could package my wigs in, but there would also be stuff that my clients could keep and reuse. So functional things. And that's when I came across my wig bags. Let me show y'all because they're so cute. So this is our new packaging for our wigs, and it comes with a hanger, so you hang your wig in here. I'll show you guys how it works shortly after this video, but for the sake of making my point, I have to continue. We'll come back though. So yes, so I came across these and they were great, but again, anything that's custom, you have to buy a lot of them. So I had to buy a whole lot of these. And then I just started thinking, and I asked myself some serious questions like, okay, Faith, what are you gonna do with all these wig bags? How many wigs do you think you could possibly sell? And the number that I gave myself was not even 1/10 of of the amount of wig bags that I had. So I had to get creative and think about, what am I going to do with all these wig bags? And that's when I came up with the idea of selling them, because I was like, okay, people already have their own wigs and are currently stuffing them in drawers, hanging them behind doors, throwing them each and every way, disrespecting their wigs. This would be great because now they can store their wigs. It'll be organized, it's neat, the bag is nice and sleek, like it's beautiful, it's stunning, I love it, right? So I was like, I'm gonna sell these wig bags, and they became a hit, guys. When I tell you guys, they just started selling and selling and selling. They sold out within less than 4 weeks. So I was super happy about that. But where I was trying to go with this is I was trying to emphasize on the point that these wig bags, which became my bestseller, were a result of a mistake. This is what we fear so much, is making mistakes. And I'm not saying go ahead and make mistakes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you do make mistakes, don't get stuck here. Learn from them, grow for them, and then come up with something better. That's where I'm trying to drive this point. And I feel like a lot of times we end up sulking, getting demotivated, and end up in positions of inaction when we make a mistake, and that should not be the case. Embrace your mistakes. And I hope this really helps somebody out there who just needed to hear this. If it did, comment below and let me know. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys. What's a mistake that you made that you learned from and grew from? I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know. So don't forget to like and comment on this video. And as always, if you're feeling the vibes, go ahead and subscribe. I look forward to seeing all of you guys again next week, same place, same time, new video. Take it easy. Peace.